This program is brought to you by generous donations from the community and sponsored by Stifel Financial.
Good evening, Nevada County. I'm Keith Overby, your host for tonight's edition of Nevada County Now. And before we get into tonight's top stories and guests, we wanted to give you a brief peek into a few items happening around the community. On October 23rd, search warrants were executed at the offices of the FireSafe Council of Nevada County and several residences. The search warrants were served by the U.S. Department of Justice and the District Attorney's Office from Nevada County. No charges or arrests have been made, and the search warrants only covered records. This comes after a second grand jury report that questioned their handling of grant funding. Our team has been unable to reach them for comment. Nevada County District Attorney Jesse Wilson issued a statement. The Nevada County District Attorney's Office, in conjunction with the Nevada County Sheriff's Department, Grass Valley Police Department, and the U.S. Department of Justice, has executed search warrants at various locations where the Nevada County FireSafe Council operates. These warrants were issued as a part of an ongoing investigation into potential violations of criminal law related to the misallocation of public funds, specifically potential violations of California Penal Code Section 424, embezzlement of public funds, and California Penal Code Section 503, embezzlement. At this time, no arrests have been made and no charges have been filed. And while allegations have been brought forward regarding the misuse of public monies related to the FireSafe Council and individuals within the organization, it is important to stress that these remain only allegations. The execution of a search warrant is a procedural step to gather necessary documents and evidence to determine whether these claims hold merit. Fire protection and prevention are of the utmost importance to our community. And nonprofit organizations like the FireSafe Council play a vital role in safeguarding our residents from the dangers of wildfire. However, the proper use of taxpayer resources is essential, and public services should never come at the expense of mismanagement of public funds. This investigation is intended to ensure that public monies are being properly utilized and that trust in these important organizations is maintained. The District Attorney's Office and its partners are committed to a thorough and fair investigation. We encourage anyone in the community who may have additional information relevant to this investigation to come forward. Please contact the Nevada County District Attorney's Office at 530-265-1301 and ask to speak with an investigator. We'll continue to monitor this story, but right now we're going to take a commercial break. Don't go away. We have plenty more in tonight's show.
Thank you to Stifel Financial, proudly helping individuals pursue financial goals, businesses and organizations raise and protect capital, and communities offer a higher quality of life. To learn more, visit www.stifel.com.
And on a more positive note, in sports, the Nevada Union Miners recently competed in the Foothills Valley League cross-country finals. The boys took first place with a total score of 35, which resulted in them walking away with the FVL title. Leading the way was junior Rowan Henry, who took third place overall. Senior Josh Griffith came in fifth, and sophomore Finn Good came in 10th. Each received all-league recognition by finishing in the top 10, and also achieving impressive results were Eric Von Ruden and Ethan McCracken. Providing support for the win were also Emmett Hansen, Nathan Van Brummel, and Josh Tiffany. And for the lady miners, Elena came in 7th overall and received an all-league recognition for the 3rd straight season. Varsity Lady Miners Leah Crossan, Evie Barber, Kara Lynn, Lola Monreal Wanko, and Faith Crayson finished 4th in the 7-team league. The NU cross-country team now prepares for the subsection race towards the championships at the Calaveras County Fairgrounds on Saturday, November the 7th. Okay, time to batten down the hatches, or at least put away the patio furniture and have your go bag ready. 25 to 45 mile an hour northerly winds are expected on Wednesday. These conditions create the potential for fire weather conditions. However, due to our own recent cooling and rain, the chances are low. But tune in tomorrow's show for discussion about fire conditions in the fall with Nevada County OES Program Director Paul Cummings. And backed by popular demand are the Grass Valley Museum Torchlight Tours. Discover the history of this century-old building. Listen to the stories about the orphanage and the challenges related to illness and death, all intertwined with the town's history through the 1930s. This is a great way to see the Grass Valley Museum and Rose Garden and get exclusive access to the depths of the building. This isn't a haunted house. It's a unique history tour of the building. And don't miss your opportunity. There are only 2 dates left, November 6th and the 8th. Details and tickets can be found by visiting their website at grassvalleymuseum.org. And the holidays would not be complete without checking out the Truckee Downtown Holiday Festival on Friday, November 22nd. Take photos with Santa, enjoy some hot cocoa, and check out the trees. There are over 600 of them, all trimmed by local elementary students. You won't want to miss the lighting of the traditional Bud Fish tree in remembrance of a beloved community member, Bud Fish. To learn more about the Truckee Downtown Holiday Festival and other events happening in Truckee, visit their website at historictruckee.com. The Nevada County Register of Voters launched a new ballot statistics dashboard this year, providing an unprecedented level of transparency for voters during this election season. This dashboard allows residents real-time insights into voter participation. It's scheduled to be updated by 6 p.m. every workday. It displays statistics on party breakdown, return ballots, and the method of return. It is part of the election office's ongoing commitment to making the election more accessible and secure. Registrar of Voters Natalie Adana quoted, "We believe this new feature increases transparency and helps build trust in the elections process. With this dashboard, the public will now have a clear picture of voter participation in this election." The dashboard can be found at nevadacountyca.gov/November 5 election. No spaces in that email or that website. Recently, Mary Jane Hunengart, our local friendly political correspondent, spoke with Nevada County's Clerk of the Recorder, Natalie Adana, about voting security. Natalie explained the secure process behind counting votes and highlighted the careful measures taken with paper ballots, including their special paper and unique requirements like watermarks to ensure legitimacy. Here's a short snippet of that interview.
So let's go back to the cybersecurity a little bit, because so you have so the voter machines are not hooked up to the internet at all by law. Mm-hmm. Voter information is a part of the California-wide system, or it feeds into the California-wide system. What about the vote count? Like, what happens? So the vote count obviously is fed somewhere online, and then it goes into the statewide. What's that flow like?
Okay, so the process of us retrieving the results, actually, none of that is online. In fact, even within the voting system itself, those machines can't be hooked up to each other. So what we do is we take a device. We use the voting system that's created by Hart InterCivic, and it has a something that looks like a thumb drive. We call it a V drive, and it holds the election results for us. So we'll load it up onto this USB stick, and we will actually walk that from that tabulation machine over to Count, and we'll load that up, and we'll sort of update the tabulation. And sort of the cool thing is about the system is that there are sort of a lot of backstops to keep us from like counting a V drive more than once. We also have a system of numbering all of the batches of things that we count, so we can actually go back, and when we do our audit in particular, see where there may be a discrepancy, if any. We've enjoyed a period where we have no discrepancies, and I think that's great. And I think it's because there are a lot of fail safes that are sort of built into the voting system. And I mean, even if someone tried to put a V drive into that equipment that'll tabulate, it just won't do it. It'll give you a flag that says this has been counted already. So some people might have heard that there's been unfortunate situations in other places where maybe the test deck was included in the official results, and we have a number of processes to make sure that that does not happen, and it can't happen. And I give full credit to my team for really paying attention to the training and keeping up with all of the processes and all of the systems that the vendor offers us to make sure that we are doing things right. We also, what a lot of people don't know is that we have to make sure that the paper that we use is certified for that election. This is not just paper that you can get at Kinko's or, Office Max or something. It is special paper, and it has to go through this whole process where, the vendor pretty much has to show what security measures have been taken at their level to keep that paper secure. It has a watermark. That watermark is assigned for every election. For this election, it was a bear.
Wow, okay.
And we do not have a valid ballot if we don't have it on certified paper with the watermark. So it is a sort of very detailed process, and it is all spelled out in the law.
And we're back. To watch the full interview, check out the Nevada County Media YouTube channel. And for local voting information and resources, visit Nevada County website at nevadacountyca.gov/3446/elections.
From the foothills of the Sierra Nevada, a new hero will emerge. One who is ready. One who makes sure their friends and family are set. And has the power to go at a moment's notice. This fire season, you're the hero. We are Ready Nevada County.
All right, welcome back. We're joined by Lynn Forbes from the League of Women Voters. I should say the Nevada County League of Women Voters. And for those not familiar with what the League is, it is a non-biased organization that is working to protect and expand voting rights and ensure everyone is represented in our democracy. The leaders we choose for our communities can affect our daily lives, and that is why it is so important to learn about the voting process. So welcome, Lynn.
Thank you. Happy Election Day.
Yeah, it is. You know, we should have like, how come we don't have decorations for Election Day like we have for Christmas? I don't understand.
It's an exciting day.
So anyway, what can you tell me about the League of Women Voters?
Well, the League of Women Voters have, been in existence on the national level since the 20s, when women first gained the right to vote. And this league chapter was formed in 1978.
Okay.
A few women got together who had been a part of leagues in other areas, and they had moved here, and they got together for lunch, and they formed the chapter here. So we've been around for a while.
Okay. And I've seen you're when you've held forums for candidates here in Nevada County. I notice you have men that are members also.
We have men and people of all ages. I think we get stereotyped, but honestly, there's a lot of diversity and variety in the group.
Okay, terrific. Anything else? Please go ahead.
Well, as far as this election goes, this is what we've been working for many months, as have other groups, and this is an exciting day. It's nerve-wracking on the one hand, because the process takes time to work. But when I went to observe today at the Fairgrounds vote center, there were lines going around that auditorium. People were, friendly and excited. Everything seemed to be moving along nicely and smoothly, and it was really nice to see.
Well, I love your enthusiasm. Where does your inspiration or your enthusiasm come from?
Well, I think first off, my background is in journalism, so I've always been sort of involved in the democratic process and the right to know. But when I retired, I got more and more involved in how our community works and the importance of voting and having your voice heard. And so we've been working really hard, the League of Women Voters of Nevada County, to push out the information people need to make informed votes. Very, very important. Some people can be discouraged. There's 10 propositions on the ballot that are confusing. Many of them are confusing, and people just sort of may not, they may be discouraged from voting if they get a little overwhelmed by that. So what we try to do is push out nonpartisan information so people have what they need to feel comfortable with their votes. I do want to caution everybody to be patient. The process takes time. We unless there's a tsunami in the country, either way, for either presidential candidate, for instance, we may not and probably will not know tonight who our president is. In fact, our last election, I believe it took till Saturday for the election to be called. Okay. So patience is a good thing, because it means that the calculations, the fact checking, all the standards used to validate votes is in process. And some states, they're not allowed by law to start the count until the polls close. Other states like ours, we've been counting. The elections office has been counting ballots as they've come in the last few weeks. So every state is different, and democracy takes time. It's not perfect.
Okay, so here in California, we would see some results almost immediately after 8 p.m.
If you go to the election office website on the Nevada County office, there is a dashboard that shows you how many votes have come in and how they're being sifted in sort of Republican, Democrat, Independent, and so on and so forth. So it's really interesting to go and see that count changing.
But actual results, they're held up until after 8 o'clock, after the polls close.
I'm not sure exactly how they start to update the statistics. I think that up until today, anyway, that dashboard has been updated every morning. So I'm not sure about what happens after tonight.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Do you have hope that your generation can help shape things for the next generation? And why is that?
Well,
kind of a philosophical question, I suppose.
Yeah, it is. I think every generation has the opportunity to make our democracy and our country better, don't you?
I hope so.
I do too. I mean, we learn, we evolve as a culture and as a country in every election. This is the most American thing that we can do, is to vote and to share our voice. And I really encourage people. We've got another couple hours until the polls close. If you haven't voted, please go to your nearest vote center to vote. call a neighbor, make sure she doesn't need a ride to the polls. And if you've done everything you can, try to be really patient again, but also try not to share rumors or social media posts unless you absolutely know they're true, because this starts, a tsunami of a rolling, set of misinformation or disinformation, which is really what we do not need today.
Well, it's like a snowball, rolls downhill and it just gets bigger.
And got a lot of dirt and stones in it too,
Okay.
So we don't want that. We want to stay as fair and positive as possible.
All right. Well, thank you, Lynn.
It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate your time. It's been great having you here.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so folks, take action. Visit their website at lwvnevadacounty.org and learn what you can do to support them and learn more about the voting process. And don't go away just yet. We still have plenty more to share with you on tonight's show.
Sometimes love and friendship can blossom in the most unexpected places. Meet Frank and Vita. Both of their spouses passed away while on our service. They met while volunteering on the Hospice of the Foothills Board of Directors. Their journey wasn't easy, but they found comfort and support from the caring staff at Hospice of the Foothills. Today, Frank and Vita support Hospice of the Foothills through shopping and donating at our local thrift stores. By volunteering and being community ambassadors for our mission to provide compassionate end-of-life care for patients, families, and the community. Hospice of the Foothills, your community nonprofit hospice since 1979.
Welcome back. Up next is a very pressing issue, surviving inflation in the business world. With rising costs affecting everyone, it's crucial to understand how businesses can adapt and thrive. And joining us is Gil Matthew from the Nevada County Economic Resource Council, who will share valuable insights on navigating these challenging economic times. So, Gil, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for the invitation, Keith.
Please share with us any information you have.
Well, inflation is something that we've all been talking about, but let me start with the positive side of the question. When we talk about business, business owners, by their nature, are positive people. They don't start a business saying, this probably isn't going to work. So they're always positive. So they have a resilience built into them. And it takes resilience when you have an inflationary system that's been going on the last few years. There's lots of ways that they can work with that, changing supply lines, changing labor structures and techniques, doing some job sharing. So there's a lot of things the businesses can do to survive that. But one of the great victims of any inflationary process is always labor. Because the pressure on businesses, the largest component of most businesses is labor. So if you can reduce labor, you can maintain your profitability in a structure where there's inflation. So the victim is labor, and we see that in several different places. People will put a machine in where people used to do something. So that's how they use it as the shock absorber for inflation, is doing techniques like that. Obviously, supply systems, cooperating with other people in that same industry, sharing knowledge. Knowledge is power in business, and so there's a great sharing that can go on. So we're not going to conquer the inflation issue very quickly, I don't think. So business is continually watching how they can prosper during that time.
Okay. Well, let's ask me this. What gives you inspiration? What gives you hope for the future that things are going to get better? I mean, we constantly read inflation's out of control. People go into the grocery store, what is that, $12, $20 for a dozen eggs, things like that. What gives you confidence that things are going to change?
I'm going to go back to the very first statement. What gives me confidence is that the natural tendency of entrepreneurs to be positive, to find solution sets, to look beyond the obvious into the unobvious. So it's the resiliency of those people that run those businesses is what gives me confidence that we will survive this. It'll be a different world, but we will figure that out. Nevada County is kind of a good example of the resilience. You've seen what's happened. We lost timber, we lost mining, but Nevada County continues to flourish. We had the tech boom. They're kind of gone. We're continuing to flourish. More small entrepreneurs are coming onto the scene every day. And that's what gives me hope, is when I see the young people who have a thirst to own their business and to do something for themselves and for the community. So that's what gives me the hope.
All right. And let me add one thing. You said that we're going to come into a new world, maybe a different world, but a new world. How's it going to be different, do you think?
Well, we have to face the fact that AI is going to change things. And how that will change them is not completely obvious to us, but we know that there's an impact coming from that. Mm-hmm. And so I can't predict what that might look like with AI, but we know it's going to be a force that we're going to have to deal with. There is a lot of activity going on in the world of AI, and we happen to be in an area where the general level of education is quite high in Nevada County, so I think we will survive it better than perhaps, say, places like Modoc County and some of those kinds of counties. Right. So that gives me optimism, but that world, I think AI may be one of the larger components of the shift of the dynamics in business and social world.
All right. Anything else you want to add?
Well, yeah, that's a great place to live. The thing that we can work with is our standard of living in Nevada County is extremely high, and that continues to be an asset that we can work with. So even while there are other things that are difficult, our standard of living is very, very high here. It's a great place to be.
Well, I always tell everybody we're lucky that we get to play and live in such a beautiful place. And it is here. You're absolutely correct. Thank you, Gil.
Thank you very much, Keith, for your time here.
Appreciate it. Thank you. We hope you found the insights to be valuable for navigating these tough times. And thanks again to Gil for providing us with this insight. Well, folks, that does it for this episode of Nevada County Now. Remember to stay safe, take care of each other, and get out there and explore all this beautiful community has to offer. Thank you and good night now.